We are all way too anxious as a society for me to be the only one walking around hypervigilant all the time. Hello friends, welcome or welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about hypervigilance because, well, that's a big part of having PTSD or complex PTSD, which is what we talk about on this channel, so shall we continue? Hypervigilance is that drive to be on alert 24/7 and that need to have an escape route at all times. It's that worry in the back of your mind that keeps you, well, vigilant on a hyper basis, if you will. I bet you didn't come here to find out what it means to live like this, though. You probably clicked on this video to find out how to live like this. So, here are a couple tips and tricks I've picked up along the way that I have found helpful, and I will tell them to you now. When you're going just a little too hard with the anxiety over something incredibly small, try to identify what the source of the anxiety is. Why are you on high alert? What is it that you're looking out for? If you can figure that out, then maybe you can figure out how to minimize it. Kind of nip it in the bud, so to speak. Ask yourself if what you're worrying about merits all the attention and energy you're devoting to it. If the answer is yes, try to ask yourself if you're in any immediate danger. Assess the situation from a realistic standpoint and kind of ask yourself, okay, am I safe? Is the threat that I am perceiving real? If the answer is no, try to find a way to self-soothe. You know when words lose all meaning? Find a way to self-soothe. That feels weird coming out. Find a way to soothe yourself, distract yourself, redirect the energy. If redirecting the energy doesn't help and you continue to spiral, I would recommend talking to somebody about it. However, if you're going to get another person involved, you're going to have to accept what they have to say, whether it supports or challenges your perception of the situation. So that's something to be mindful of. If being challenged is triggering for you, that's something to practice. Yay! But it can sometimes be helpful to get somebody else involved and to bounce your anxieties off of somebody else, whether they validate your concerns or shoot them down. The way we perceive things is not always the reality of the situation, and the longer you let the anxiety bounce around between your ears, the bigger it gets, and you don't have to do it alone, is what I'm trying to say. Something I personally did earlier today to test my own theory of, am I in danger? Is my concern about this threat actually real? Or am I stuck in my trauma? It took me years after my mother passed away to be able to put my phone down, to be able to put it on silent, and then after a while to be able to take it off of silent. But today, this morning, I went for a walk without my phone to prove to myself that I wasn't going to miss an emergent phone call or anything of that nature. It was a little bit stressful, and I kept on having moments of thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be the one time that something happens on a walk and I don't have my phone. Something's going to happen to me, something's going to happen to Sadie, and I'm going to have to exist without means of contacting help. But I was raised in Manitoba, so I swatted those thoughts away like mosquitoes, because I'm used to swarms of mosquitoes and intrusive thoughts. And I just played with my dog and tried to enjoy a walk, and actually those thoughts and, that walk this morning are what prompted me to make this video, because I figured that there's no way I'm the only person who experiences this. There is no way. We are all way too anxious as a society for me to be the only one walking around hypervigilant all the time. But I find that it really helps to challenge the hypervigilance. Not really challenge it, that sounds negative. Sit it down with a cup of tea or coffee and get it to open up about its feelings in its past. Really get to know where your hypervigilance is coming from, and then you can kind of dissect it and figure out, is this just being stuck in a loop of trauma, or am I actually in imminent danger? Everyone's favorite game. But as with all things in this life, it gets a little bit easier with practice. It's like a muscle. The more you work the muscle, the stronger it gets. It is a daily process, and that will show you progress. I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher for a while, and I think it shows. Anyway, that is all I have to say about that. What do you have to say about it? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to be kind to yourself and others today. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to support the channel, you can become a member over on Patreon. There is a link in the description where you can see all of my affiliate codes, and that supports the channel too. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to be kind to yourself and others today. I already said that, and I will see you very soon. Bye. This friggin' straw is so loud in this cup.